Hi friends, here's the question of the day. Just what is elder abuse? While there are many legalistic definitions, I prefer to keep it simple. Elder abuse is an intentional act or failure to act that causes harm to an adult that's 60 or older, and the abuse occurs at the hands of a person the senior trusts. Let's break this down a little. An intentional act seems self-explanatory, but failure to act? That's referring to when a senior is neglected, as in they weren't cared for properly, such as being kept clean or warm or fed. Secondly, the senior trusts the abuser and allows them to take advantage of them. This can be for various reasons, like they are dependent on the abuser for help as they age, or it's their blood relative so they can't involve police, or maybe they just tripped again, as it couldn't be that their neighbor actually pushed them. Sometimes it's because they're just plain scared. When friends ask me why I'm so passionate about elder abuse, it's because when I witnessed it firsthand, it involved emotional and financial abuse of a vulnerable senior. And although there was no actual physical abuse, the victim looked to be physically assaulted when being emotionally manipulated, and later when they heard they'd also been stolen from. They literally doubled over and held their midsection as if punched in the gut. What follows is an account of a gentleman that was abused by his son over time, and I believe you'll find the tribunal's take on his actions at the end of the account to be insightful. Let me share the details because elder abuse matters. A few years ago, an 82-year-old Australian man lived in a single-bedroom Department of Housing unit. He received assistance from various government departments, and his only source of income was his old age pension. He had 2 adult children, a son and a daughter, who both lived independently and were estranged from each other. This man had a close relationship with his adult son, and had a history of gifting him money, even after the father was diagnosed with dementia and other illnesses. The adult son continued to receive the money, even though he was aware that the gifts left his father in financial difficulty. This caused concerns when the daughter was eventually required to assist her father financially. A social worker and the daughter raised these concerns about the elderly man's ability to manage his limited financial resources, and so an application was made to the government for an order that the public trustee manage his affairs, and a tribunal hearing was set up to hear the case. The son chose not to appear before the tribunal or give evidence as to his views of his father's generosity to him. However, he wrote that his father had always gifted him money, and so the ongoing gifts were in keeping with that. The finding from the tribunal was that, having regard for his deteriorating mental condition and because of his lifetime of habit, the father was unable to resist or weigh the outcomes of providing financial assistance to his son or others, as opposed to his own interests. And so the tribunal found that financial abuse was occurring and that the father was vulnerable due to his lack of insight into the consequences of his financial decisions as a direct outcome of his diagnosis of dementia. The tribunal particularly pointed to an incident where the father drove to the airport to collect his adult son, only to become lost at the airport for 5 hours, driving in and out of the airport at least 12 times. The father was hospitalized after this incident. The tribunal found the adult son's conduct towards his father indicated a lack of insight into the difficulties his father had and what it meant. They appointed the public trustee to manage the father's affairs rather than appointing the adult daughter because of the inability of the adult children to work together. In this case, it can be seen just how subtle financial elder abuse can seem to the perpetrator. The adult son did not feel he was doing anything wrong, although many of us would have realized otherwise, and he continued to carry on as he had in the past by receiving the monetary gifts. Unfortunately, the reality is that in almost 60% of the cases of elder abuse, the perpetrator is a family member, and oftentimes family members do not have sufficient objectivity to see that it is happening. Have you witnessed a subtle but harmful example of financial elder abuse? Maybe it's as simple as an adult child that always had a handout for a cash payment when they spent a few minutes helping mom or dad, and they knew that their parent couldn't afford it. Please share your account in the comments section below to help others, because elder abuse matters. Friends, our goal here is to share these abuse cases so that if you or someone you know is or has been abused, you know that you're not alone. While it can be therapeutic to hear other stories, it also may be helpful for you to anonymously share your own story of abuse on this channel and help others. Just check the show notes below to find out how. And finally, please click the like and subscribe buttons to grow the channel so that together we can reduce the abuse, because elder abuse matters. Please stay safe, seek help, and know that I am praying for you.